In the air out towards the right centre wing. Neesham is underneath the ball for East Fremantle, drops the mark. Stanage trying to gather at 2 for Swans. Eventually Stanage comes out with the ball, gets it onto the boot towards the half-forward line. Rogers, the first to arrive, takes the ball on his chest and holds up that Swans attack on the half-back flank. Rogers short passing to the centre half-back position, looking for Thornley, taken though beautifully by Bagley in a long drop kick deep into the goal square. The race is on. Stevenson after the ball, knocked away too by side bottom, and it's over the line and out of bounds in the left full forward pocket.
Good footballer Bagley, Graham.
A complete footballer. Marks high, kicks the ball long, fast, good team man.
Throw in coming, taken by Cyril Littrick, sweeping around to get onto that foot. Drops the ball onto the boot and puts it right onto the chest of the side bottom. Only 15 yards out from the Swan Districts goals at an angle of about 45 degrees. Our camera looking right over the shoulder of side bottom as he comes in now to take this kick. There it goes, no mistake about it, and that is the 6th goal on the board to Swan. 6-1, East Fremantle 2-6. Jack Sheedy.
Well, Swans have got the game, I think, well and truly sewn up at this stage. It looks like it's going to be a cakewalk from here. They're doing everything right. They're playing the ball, they're kicking it long, and they're going down the centre of the ground. I don't think they could wish for anything more.
And even in desperation, because they're on top and are playing with confidence, missed kicks are going into the hands of their players, and this happens when a team's playing well. Everything goes for them.
Getting set for the bounce down again in the centre from umpire Woods. McVeigh on the ball for Swans. Coulson is there for East Fremantle. Coulson gets the tap out this time. East Fremantle can't force it away though. Manning coming through, takes the ball with him. Gets the kick down to the half-forward line again for Swans. Here's Copeman and Rogers setting themselves. Rogers gets the front berth, can't take the mark. The race on towards the boundary line. After the ball now goes Rakic. Keeps it in play. Terry Stevenson going after it on top of the ball on the ground. Stevenson trying to come away with it. Held without the ball, says umpire Freddie Woods, and Stevenson, the back pocket man for East Fremantle, has been awarded the kick. Players gathering up on the half-back flank. That's the direction of Stevenson's kick. Cooper goes high for Swans. The wingman to bring down the mark. Plays on quickly, looking for Rakic unattended at the half-forward line, and Rakic has pulled down the mark. Rakic ball within kicking distance, short passing again. This is a bad one, looking for Littrick, knocked away by East Fremantle. Back it comes to Rakic again, straightening up for a shot at the goals, and there it goes. Bounced right on the line and almost came out again, but it's through for the full points, and that's the 7th goal to Swan Districts.
Well, that's how easy it is for Swan Districts. They're going down the middle of the ground. A bad kick from Rakic there to Littrick in the forward pocket. Was knocked away by Spriggs, straight back to Rakic, and he poked it straight through the middle. Couldn't ask for anything more, Graham.
You couldn't, but I'm a little bit disappointed with Woods. He let a blatant free kick go there. Swan District chaps charged and hit a player when he was nowhere near the ball, and consequently kicked the goal, but I think it was very unfair.
Back in play, Sprigg in the hands of the trainers down the other end of the ground. Up to the half-forward line it goes for East Fremantle. Knocked out by Watson, taken by Tony Cassidy. Cassidy onto the boot, up to full forward, but there's Lawson coming out well in advance of Bob Johnson to take the mark. Lawson switches play to the other side of the ground. Swans go to the ground. Cormac punches the ball away. Neesham trying to burst his way through too. Up into the pocket it goes. After the ball goes Bentley of East Fremantle. Here's a chance. Can't get clear with it though. Holding the ball, the decision, and rightly so from umpire Woods, and the kick to go again to Swan Districts.
Spriggs still having trouble there, Brian. It doesn't look as though they're going to bring another man.
Plenty of wind knocked out of him, I think, Bob, down there in that clash when the ball was passed to Littrick. Here's the ball being brought away from the full-back line. The Swan Districts, Michael Regan flying in the front position for East Fremantle, has taken the mark. Playing on quickly with a hand pass, gets it over to Laurie Watson. Watson onto the boot up to full forward. Johnson is setting himself up there. Allows the ball to go through, and it's 4 points to East Fremantle.
Good football by Bob Johnson there. He sized up the situation, knew where the ball was, where his opponent was, and let Watson's kick go through. Good play, Paul.
It was good play, and the way they played on, there's no doubt about it. The means of defence is to attack, and that's what they did at that stage, and they scored the goal very easily.
Jack, I noticed Les House and Ken Holt have switched flanks on the half-back line.
Yes, Bob. Young House is going to have a handful with the Swans ruck, I think, there, though.
There's the bounce down again. Taken by Biffin. Thornley coming through with the ball for East Fremantle. A good kick into the breeze, puts them into attack. Flying in the pocket. Nesbitt coming out pretty strongly, gets the hand pass, looking there for Devitt, picked up there by Fred Lewis. The kick comes off the side of the boot towards the pocket. The race on up there. Coming across is Lawson, but it beats him over the line and out of bounds, and 5 minutes of play gone now in the second quarter of the 65 grand final.
It's a throw in the right full forward line for East Fremantle. Littrick there battling with Casserly. Walker trying to come through. Picked up by Bosic and back towards the centre line. Harry Neesham, number 1. Ball off the kick by Bagley. Still in the centre of the ground. And Frank Coulson appeal for the kick and has been awarded it by umpire Fred Woods. The veteran East Fremantle player taking the kick on the half forward line.
I used to remember Frank Coulson used to kick the ball outside. I suppose he still does, does he, Frank?
Still a good kick, Graham, losing a little bit of pace though now.
There's a good kick against the breeze from Frank Coulson, right up into the square. Chance for Tony Casserly in the pocket, but surrounded by Swans players, and finally the ball is kicked out of bounds once again. East Fremantle throwing more into this quarter than they did in the first. Kicking against the breeze this time. Casserly and Littrick. Littrick number 22. Billy Walker still in the pocket. And a tackle there, heavy tackle to an East Fremantle player. Casserly it is, and Tony Casserly to take the kick deep in the full forward pocket for East Fremantle. A chance here to bring up a further score, 7-1 to 3-6 in favour of Swan Districts. Here's the East Fremantle ruckman on a very acute angle, taking his time with this kick. Not a good kick, finds Cyril Littrick right in the white square, and Littrick sends Swans out of trouble once again and out of bounds at left half back. East Fremantle not getting the breaks at all when it's near the goal square, and Swan certainly fighting hard to keep them out. Here's a throw-in. Littrick opposed to Coulson. Billy Walker. Back to Bert Thornley, it's on the half forward line. There's Thornley's kick towards the full forward line. A chance here as Watson picks up onto the boot but puts it out of bounds right next to the right hand point post. Watson, the opportunist in the forward line, kicked that goal, and ever alert to score for his side. A very strong breeze blowing now towards the left of your screen as the throw-in comes. Johnson there battling with Littrick. Through comes Bosic. And Bosic's kick take the ball to the centre of the ground. Harry Neesham takes a good mark right in the centre of the ground. Pulled around the neck. And umpire Woods looks like awarding 15 yards here. Yes, Harry Neesham to be awarded 15 yards. A mix-up in the centre there. Bagley took a knock, Neesham took a knock, but Neesham's got the kick. And there it goes up towards the half-forward line. Johnson there and Lawson. Through comes Bosic again, and his kick goes back towards the centre line. Norm Rogers, number 11, over to Les House. A kick towards centre half forward. Knocked away to Tony Casserly. He's racing towards goal, puts his foot to the ball. A chance here for a score. Yes, good football there by East Fremantle, and another goal to Tony Casserly.
Some real good football there, Bob. Firstly by the Swan Districts defenders, the way they're playing, Johnson and keeping the ball away from him. But good football again, backing up by Casserly, and enable East Fremantle to get that goal. They're playing better now, Graham, against the breeze.
They are. They're going for the ball, Jack. That's the greatest difference, and they're handling the ball well. Before they're fumbling and tapping along, but they're controlling it, and they're right in the game again.
The crowd coming to life here as East Fremantle plunge into attack against the breeze in the second quarter. Rakic gets the tap. Picked up by Les House, over to Norm Rogers. And East Fremantle going to attack again, up towards the half-forward line. Mike Regan and McMurray. Tony Nesbitt, number 9. Tackle hard there by East. Fred Lewis trying to come through. Graham Devitt. Kick has been awarded here to East Fremantle. Looks like holding the ball. And the kick goes the way of Fred Lewis. Well, East continually in attack in this last 5 minutes. There's a kick, knocked away by Johnson. I think Johnson, yes, Bob Johnson has been awarded that kick.
He deserved it because I've watched Jay Lawson and he's been interfering with Bob Johnson a fair bit and is quite entitled to that free kick.
There's a kick from Johnson over to Michael Regan, directly in front, about 35 yards out from goal. Well, a chance here for Michael Regan to bring East Fremantle further closer to the Swan score. There he goes, taking his time, lining the goals up. Oh, this one's offline. and through for the minor score. 1 point to East Fremantle, and we're 10 minutes into the second quarter.
Costly missed there by East Fremantle, Graham.
It was a costly miss, Jack, but thinking about East Fremantle, you've got to admire their tradition. They never give up. It looked like the game was going to slip right out, but they're right into it again, Jack. They're not very far away.
From the kick in, the ball is put right down into the centre of the ground, marked by Neesham. Neesham putting it out to the half-forward line. Tony Castley after it out there for Old Easts. Gets the ball over his head. The race is on with Bentley, the first to arrive. Gets it on past her Swan Districts defender again. Martinson and Boz going after the ball in front of the grandstand, but it's over the line and we'll see a throw-in on the right half-forward line. Here it goes. Rakic and Castley. Bentley trying to burst his way through, runs into Bosic. Cooper comes out with the ball. Out towards the wing, underneath it is Ken Bagley of Swans to take the mark. Bagley on the left centre wing, putting Swans into attack down to the half-forward line. Coming out of Stevenson in front from the back pocket with plenty of pace. Gets it up to the centre wing for Harry Neesham there. Shepherded by Biffin. Neesham gets it up to the half-forward line. Swan District flying unattended in Tony Nesbitt to bring down the mark. Tony Nesbitt on the left half-back flank for Swans. Calling for umpire Woods to bring Bert Thornley back onto the mark. Now Nesbitt coming in to take his kick. Into the centre of the ground it goes. Players go high behind the pack. Is Cormack coming through with the ball in front of him. Gets the bounce up nicely. Over it goes to House. House is in big trouble too. Tackled there by Bosic. Manning trying to come through with the ball. Manning breaking into the clear. Onto the boot it goes, up to full forward. Emery coming out. Bounce beats him. Here's an open paddock for Walker as he races into the goals. Onto the boot and 4 points to Swan Districts off the boot of Billy Walker. Take their score to 8 goals 1. East Fremantle 4 goals 7.
Not very good football there by East Fremantle, particularly with Cormack running the wrong way. This is a trait of Cormack's. You can keep him going the wrong way, he'll run to the opposition side. And then a bad hand pass allowed Swans to come in and get that goal.
Yes, and also the unreliable bounce, not knowing where the ball's going to bounce straight over the person who was in front. Didn't have a chance.
Umpire Woods again bouncing the ball in the centre of the ground. Nesbitt gets a big thump to it this time. Here's Cormack again underneath the ball. He's in trouble though. Whistle sounds from umpire Freddie Woods.
Not a very good decision. He came in, no intention of getting that ball, just straight at him, charged at him. I don't think it was a very good decision, Jack.
Pretty hard to ascertain what he gave the kick for.
I think it was a throw, Jack. I'd look from here.
Well, there's Tom Stanage to take the kick anyway at the centre half forward position for Swan Districts. It's a good long kick too, right to the edge of the goal square. Gorman setting himself, knocked away from behind by Emery. Side bottom after it in the pocket. Sprigg coming through too. Side bottom gets a boot to it. Deep in the right full forward pocket and puts it through for 1 point. 8 goals 2. Splendid kicking. Swan Districts 8-2, leading East Fremantle 4 goals 7. And Sprigg, the East Fremantle fullback, to bring this ball into play. Players gathering out on the members stand flank, and that's the direction of the kick. Up they go. McVie, the ruckman of the Swan Districts, takes the mark over the top of the 2 wingers, Biffin and Cooper. And now McVie to put this ball right back into the full forward zone for Swan Districts. Littrick is breaking from the pocket as McVie comes in, takes the resting ruckman away with him, and there goes the kick. Knocked to the ground by Rogers. Here's Billy Walker trying to come through, as held by Castley. Can't get rid of it, says umpire Freddie Woods, and the ball will be bounced forward of the centre half forward position for Swan Districts. At the bounce down, it's taken by Swans. Over to Cyril Littrick, the ruckman, pops it onto the boot. 4 points again, 9-2 Swans, East Fremantle 4-7.
Lovely football, Graham, by Vlada Rakic there with that tap to Littrick going past. That's good football.
It's good football. They're concentrating. They're thinking about the game all the time. They're taking advantage of the opportunity, and Cyril Littrick didn't make a mistake. He kicked it right through the middle.
It's 9 goals 2, Swan Districts 4-7 East Fremantle. The bounce down again from umpire Woods in the centre. There's McLee going high for the tap down. Kick from Nesbitt right up to full forward. Over the head of the pack it goes. Picked up now by Sprigg. He's caught, gets it onto the boot though. Out towards Billy Walker at half forward. Walker straightening up for a shot at the goals, and there it goes again. Right through for another full points to Swan Districts, and they bring up their 10th goal.
Well, Swans have turned the pace on again, Graham. They look like they're going to run away. That respite they had in the early part of that quarter, when East Fremantle put the pressure on them, they're coming back very strongly now and going right down the middle of the ground.
The difference is that every time they kick for goals, Jack, it is a goal. Whereas East Fremantle, they had 100 kicks and were lucky to get half a dozen points.
Well, there's the value of a top rover. Billy Walker, ever alert, always backing up, picked the ball up and kicked that goal. And here's the bounce down once again. Emery and Littrick. Out to Barry Biffin, and East Fremantle going to attack, but Peter Downey in front of Fred Lewis takes the mark at half back. Very solid player for Swans. There's his kick right over the centre line. Norm Rogers taking the mark behind Bagley in the centre of the ground. Here's Norm Rogers, the East Fremantle centre half back. A good kick from Rogers, right out towards left half forward. Maynard high in the air, can't take the mark. Picked up by Bentley, shot in towards full forward. A chance here for Martinson. In the right full forward pocket, racing in towards goals, but offline and through for 1 point once again to the blue and whites.
The difference between Swans and East Fremantle, exactly the same position, running into an open goal and no pressure on him, and he misses it.
Here's Joe Lawson, the veteran fullback, 214 games to his credit, kicking in for Swan Districts. Not a good kick, but towards centre half back. Picked up once again by Bill Walker, over to Maynard, and Maynard's kick goes towards centre half forward, towards Frank Copeman, and Copeman takes the mark. A well-judged mark there to Frank Copeman. Hotly attended there by Norm Rogers. There's a pass further afield towards Tony Nesbitt, and Nesbitt takes the mark. Between right half forward and right full forward, with the breeze behind him, a great chance for Nesbitt to drive the ball in right into the teeth of the goal.
East Fremantle players were still running back covering their marksman then when Nesbitt ran on to accept that pass.
Here's Tony Nesbitt, the acting captain. A torpedo punt kick right into the teeth of the goal, hit the post, and one more point to the Swan side. There's a quick kick in, but was too early, says umpire Woods. The umpire hadn't finished waving the flag, and back comes the kick.
Bad decision that, Graham. The umpire was waving the flag before Sprigg had let go of the ball. So if he's going to wave it for 3/4 of an hour, I think Sprigg's entitled to kick it.
That's right, it's just a difficult one, Jack, a borderline case.
There's Trevor Sprigg. Not a good kick from Sprigg. Eludes 3 or 4 players, picked up by Bagley. He's at half forward, there goes the kick towards full forward. Gorman and Sprigg. Sprigg in the front position, picked up by Terry Stevenson. Deep in the left full forward pocket, Frank Coulson. Over towards Norm Rogers. Rogers kicked towards a half back line, but out of bounds here in front of the members stand. Well, Swan certainly turning on some brilliant passage of football in this first half to have a very handy lead. There's a throw in from umpire Hanson. Billy Walker over to Ken Cooper. He's at half forward, can't pick it up. Through comes Norm Rogers. Bert Thornley, number 18. Over to Laurie Watson. The handball goes astray, but back to Harry Neesham. The ball on the right wing. Number 1, Harry Neesham. And umpire Woods will bounce the ball. Some handball there, 3 or 4 handballs from the East Fremantle players, but the last one went astray. Number 22 is Dave Emery. 22 for Swans is Cyril Littrick. Littrick gets the tap. Dave side bottom. Left foot to the ball on the centre wing. Bert Thornley bursting his way through once again. Tony Bosic. Bosic shoots the ball over towards Bagley. He's alone in the centre. Not a good kick from Bagley this time. Terry Stevenson, 23 in front. Tackle hard there by 2 Swans players. Picked up by McVie it is. Knocked on towards Gorman. He's running towards goals, deep in the right full forward pocket. But the ball finally goes out of bounds in that position.
I was amazed with Ken Bagley's gripping that ball as a bounce over. It was tremendous, not a second thought.
Very quick.
Certainly a polished player, Ken Bagley, and here's the throw-in. Norm Rogers for East Fremantle, kicking the ball towards the centre wing. Laurie Watson, number 5. Back to the centre of the ground towards Harry Neesham, and Neesham takes the mark. Stumbles, looked as though he was going on, but lucky for Neesham, he came back and has his kick. Doesn't get much distance with his kick. Missed by Bosic. Through comes Graham Devitt. Towards the centre of the ground once again. It's all Swans here as Littrick takes the ball over to Nesbitt, and Swans going to attack again up to the half-forward line. Copeman high in the air, misses the mark. Picked up once again by Frank Copeman. Gets his foot to the ball, right into the white square. Two Swans players collide, and finally the ball goes out of bounds at right full forward. No, it's still in play. Emery taking the mark, and we're 20 minutes into the second quarter.
Emery puts the ball right up into the wing position where Bentley comes up to take the mark for East Fremantle, goes to the ground. There's his kick up to the centre half forward position for Old Easts. Swan Districts high in the air through Devitt, bring down the mark to hold up that East Fremantle attack. Devitt's kick right up over the centre line again for Swan Districts. Rogers almost brings down the mark. Back after the ball, twisting and turning out of trouble again. Out it goes towards Cooper and Cormac. Knocked down to Cooper of Swans. He can't gather it. Thornley trying to come through. Picked up again by Devitt. He runs straight into Neesham. The kick goes to Bert Thornley. Thornley playing on quickly out to the right half forward flank position. Finds Martinson out there. Martinson onto the boot. Finds Johnson coming out from the goals. A beautiful pass thumped onto the chest of captain coach Bob Johnson. And now let's watch him take this kick deep in the right full forward pocket.
This will be a very difficult kick for Bob against that wind. I'd be surprised if he kicks it.
Got the money, Paul. It's a good one at last, and East Fremantle definitely needed it.
Well, he's been a couple of weeks getting off that 100, Jack. He kicked his 100th goal a couple of weeks ago, and that's his first goal for a while.
That takes the scoreboard along now. Swan Districts 10 goals 3, East Fremantle 5 goals 8.
I'm surprised East Fremantle haven't made a change in their half-forward line. Lewis doesn't seem to be firing well enough at centre half-forward to give them any drive from that position at all.
Umpire Woods again set for the bounce down in the centre. Out it goes towards Biffin on the wing of East Fremantle. He can't get into the clear. Swan Districts players there with him. Side bottom gets a boot to it. Les House coming up in the front position from the half-back line takes the mark for East Fremantle. Biffin playing on quickly, looking for Cormac, unattended on the right centre wing. Cormac in possession up to the half-forward line for East Fremantle. Players setting themselves up there, and again it looks like Devitt taking the mark on the half-back line. Some of the crowd don't like it up there. Devitt it is, bringing it away from the half-back line for Swans. Back to the centre of the ground. The centremen settling themselves. Going high over the top of them was Casserly. Picked up now by Cooper of Swans. Kicking to Copeman at the half-forward position. Copeman goes and takes the mark too. Getting over the top of Rogers. Regathering the ball. Brings down a fine mark. Backward of his half-forward position. Playing on quickly. Finds Littrick coming out fast from the pocket in front of Emery. Now Cyril Littrick right over in the left half-forward flank position for Swan Districts, coming in to take the kick. There's the drop kick, popped right up into the goal square. Gorman jostling for position with Sprigg.
What do you think about that one, Paul?
I think it was unfair. The fella was in front. He didn't know where the East Fremantle was, and one of Fred Wood's poorer decisions. That's all, Jack.
There's the kick from Sprigg. Here's Kilson going high, almost takes the mark. Rakic brings it down behind him.
Well, this is a decent side of a free kick, this one. He's given it for a throw.
Throw, yes. Fred's out of position to see it. It was a fair hand pass.
Here's Rogers taking his kick. Up to the centre of the ground it goes. Cormac setting himself there on the wing, and Cormac brings down the mark for East Fremantle. Darryl Cormac on the right centre wing, right in front of the members' pavilion, takes the kick for East Fremantle up to their half-forward line. Here's Lewis and Downey, knocked away by Downey towards the boundary line again. Nesbitt can't reach it, and we'll see a throw almost on the right half-forward flank position for East Fremantle. Casserly and Rakic getting set for the throw-in. Rakic gets the tap, puts it back into the centre of the ground. Downey showing plenty of pace, punches the ball on in front of him, throws the ball on in front of him. And the kick has been awarded to Michael Regan there, almost at centre half forward for East Fremantle. Now umpire Woods says it's Bentley, the player, to take the kick. Here he is, the rover. A drop kick, right up to full forward. Johnson flying, can't bring it down. Players fighting for the ball towards the pocket. The East Fremantle player has been awarded a kick up there for a push. Looks like Laurie Watson coming right across from the other flank position. And Watson right next to the boundary line in the right full forward pocket for East Fremantle to take the kick. Not much offering in front of the goals as Watson comes in. Sounded promising from the roar of the crowd, but it's 1 point again to East Fremantle to take their score to 5 goals. 9 and 25 minutes of play have now gone to the second quarter here of the 1965 Grand Final.
There's 10-3 to 5-9 in favour of Swans, and Joe Lawson taking the kicking. Well over the half-back line, right in the arms of Ken Bagley, taking a very safe mark. There's another good kick from Bagley. Up towards centre half forward. Rogers and Copeland battling. 27 is McVie. Picked up by John Martinson. A good kick from Martinson. Up towards half forward line. Tony Casserly, number 10. Tony Nesbitt, number 9. Darryl Cormack. Oh, some hard, rugged passages there, and finally socket off the ground and over the line at right half forward.
Got to admire East Fremantle. They haven't given up. They're still within kicking distance. A couple of quick goals will get them back into the game for sure.
Those comments from Graham Farmer, the Geelong player. There's Billy Walker. Over to Peter Downey. Back to McVie. Handball again to Downey, and Downey's in the centre of the ground from his half-back position. Les House coming through. And umpire Fred Woods pulled the game up, and ball will be bounced on the left centre wing. 26 minutes gone in the second quarter.
I thought it was a fairly good display, Bob, but overdid just a little bit with the handball then. I could have put a kick into it.
There you saw a section of those big crowd here, urging the respective sides on. Frank Coulson. 2 Swans players fly together. Still in the centre of the ground. A push in the backs as umpire Woods and Bert Thornley will take the kick. Not a good kick from Thornley up towards the half-forward line. Picked up by Nesbitt. Tackle by Lewis. Holding the ball, says umpire Woods. And Fred Lewis will take the kick. A good tackle by Lewis there as Nesbitt was running away from him, threw himself at Nesbitt and was awarded the kick.
I thought Nesbitt had a half an hour to get rid of that ball, but he didn't think there was someone so close to him, Jack.
Plenty of time, Paul, certainly to get the kick in there. It's one of his teammates didn't say to kick the ball. 2
minutes into time on. There's Fred Lewis. No one on the mark. Kicking up towards Johnson. Johnson hotly attended there. The ball nearly in the white square for East Fremantle and will be bounced.
Johnson's certainly getting some attention up there today. Do you think, Bob, that some of those unwarranted, some of those interference?
Well, a couple of the Swans back certainly playing very close, Jack. There's the bounce down, nearly in the white square. Ooh, 2 Swans players collide up there as East Fremantle try to come through. Picked up by McVie, and there goes the kick out towards the half-back line. Underneath it there is Barry Biffin, and he takes a safe mark. Well, a chance here for East Fremantle, kicking against a very strong breeze. Goes a lead from Casserly, but it's ignored, and Biffin kicking in towards the white square. Not a good one. Allows Joe Lawson to come through. 28 minutes gone. Over to Walker. There goes that handball of Swans into action again, and McMurray sends them out of trouble over the centre line. Frank Copeland. Over to Ken Bagley. There's Bagley's kick towards the left half forward line. Here's Gorman and Sprigg. Gorman in front. Sprigg's got the front position, and once again it goes out of bounds at left full forward.
Gorman 3 goals in the first quarter, haven't touched the ball since.
There's the throw in. Littrick and Emery. Over the side bottom. Here's a chance for Swans. Rakic about 20 yards out. Hooks the ball into the right pocket, but Copeland racing in. Takes the mark deep in the right full forward. Stanage it is. Stanage deep in the right full forward pocket. A missed kick there from Rakic, but Stanage, ever alert, came in to take that mark. Well, he's on his correct foot, deep in the pocket. And here's Tom Stanage. Over the mark, but there's no difference. It's right through a beautiful kick from the right full forward pocket by Tom Stanage to register another goal.
Graham, do you think East Fremantle can get back into it here now? They seem to be in all sorts of bother. They've still made, other than the wing changes, no other change in their goal-to-goal position.
I remember East Fremantle were 10 goals down. I think it was against Perth, and they got up and won the match. It wasn't such a long time ago. Until the match is over, the decision isn't final, but at this stage it's most unlikely that East Fremantle will get back into the game.
There's the ball back in the centre once again. On the ball is Tony Casserly, number 10, Robin McVie, 27, and Frank Coulson. Picked up by Nesbitt. Down towards Gorman. Picked up by side bottom. Another chance for Swans. And out of bounds at left full forward.
Very bad football there, Bob.
Yes, had a great chance. Cyril Littrick was on his own in the square, but Dave Sidebottom elected the kick and kicked it out of bounds. Well, we're 30 minutes into the second quarter.
Here's the throw, deep in the left full forward pocket now for Swans. Littrick goes high, gets the touch to it. Chasing it himself towards the boundary line, beats him over there on another throw in the left full forward pocket. Very little time left here before we hear the half-time siren sound of the 1965 Grand Final. 11-3 Swan Districts, East Fremantle 5 goals 9. Emery, Littrick and Rakic getting set for the throw-in down to the ground. Coming through with Stevenson from the back pocket. He's knocked off the kick, gathers the ball again, gets around Cyril Littrick, out to the half-back flank, almost into our broadcasting position and out of bounds for another throw-in.
There you can see the tightly packed crowd, and certainly looks like a record crowd here this afternoon.
Back into play, landed on the roof of the governor's car, I think, and in a moment we'll see the ball thrown into play. Casserly and Rakic bustling for the ball. Down it comes to Martinson, can't get away with it. Back it goes to Casserly. Up to the central wing, Bosic goes to the ground, wrestling with Thornley, picked up by McVie. Hand pass back to Bosic again, coming through as Martinson. Picks up the ball up to the wing position. Coming up there is Devitt and Watson. They go to the ground, and the free kick going the way of Devitt on the half-back line for Swan Districts. Devitt playing on quickly, putting the ball up over the centre line, looking for Stanich up there, and Stanich has taken the mark almost in the centre of the ground.
Moves around a lot, this fellow, Graham.
He reads the play well, makes position very well.
Long kick from Stanich, looking for Littrick coming up from the pocket. Coulson is chasing the ball. After it now goes Manning with plenty of pace, right down to the right full forward pocket. Manning in possession, hooks it over and towards the goals. Once again, though, it's over the line and out of bounds in the right full forward pocket. Throw coming right next to the point post. 32 minutes of play gone here in the second quarter. Taken by Casserly from the throw-in. Over it goes to Rogers. Rogers eludes a tackle, puts a boot into the ball, and there's the siren bringing to a close the second quarter of the 1965 Grand Final, and the scoreboard shows Swan Districts 11 goals 3, 69, leading East Fremantle 5 goals 9. To his side, Swan Districts, as umpire Freddie Woods is sent to start the third quarter in motion of the 1965 Grand Final. There it goes. Bounce favours Dave Emery. He gets a good punch to it. Down to Cooper of Swan Districts, though. Cooper puts Swans into attack. Out to the grandstand wing it goes. Manning is after the ball. Picked up now by Stanage. Stanage onto the boot and over the boundary line on the right centre wing for Swans.
No changes, Jack, in East Fremantle's
I'm
lineup.
surprised, Bob. I thought they would have made some change to their half-forward line, but apparently they're going to try and get it out this quarter.
Emery and McVie after the knock interference in the ruck, says umpire Freddie Woods, and the free kick is to go the way of the big East Fremantle ruckman Dave Emery. Emery looking to centre half forward. That's the direction of the kick. Downey and Lewis battling for position there. Lewis going after the crumbs, picked up by Billy Walker. He gets the ball over to Devitt, but a free kick goes the way of the East Fremantle centre half forward Fred Lewis. Johnson calling for the ball high in the goal square as Lewis comes in. There goes the drop kick right up to full forward. Lawson coming out, knocks it away from Maynard, his teammate. Swan on top of the ball there. Lawson trying to come out with it. A big pack on top of it, and umpire Freddie Woods will bounce the ball down about 35 yards out from the Swan Districts, from the East Fremantle goal. Johnson coming out to take the bounce down. Up he goes, looking for Bentley with it. Bentley coming through to gather the ball. Handballs over to Michael Regan. Regan onto the boot, away to the left-hand side and out of bounds in that left full forward pocket. East Fremantle quickly into attack and bottled up again in this left full forward pocket. Here comes the throw again next to the point post. Casserly gets it down to Martinson. Martinson snaps it very quickly onto the boot across the face of the goals again. It's marked by Watson, but I think he may have been through. No, he wasn't. Coming back quickly for the kick. And he puts it through again for 1 point.
100 chances there to kick a goal and not one of them came off. That's the difference between a battling side and a team that's full of confidence.
Here's the veteran fullback again, Joe Lawson, to bring the ball into play. Players gathering out here on the member stand flank. It's a poor old kick from Lawson. Emery in the front position takes the ball on his chest. He's out on the left half forward flank. And Emery could certainly put this one right back through the big posts again for East Fremantle. The breeze in his favour. Plenty of height. It's going to fall well short of the goals in the far pocket. Devitt is edged out of the road by Watson, picked up there by Martinson onto the boot, and there's 4 points to East Fremantle to take their score to 6-10, trailing Swan Districts 11-3.
Well, East Fremantle picking up the crumbs there, capitalised on that and got a goal on the board. They need a lot of these quickly. I think, Graham, they've got to have a 3 or 4 goal lead at three-quarter time to have any chance against Swan Districts.
They do, and Swans may be lulled into a false sense of security at the present moment. They can kick 3 or 4 quick goals, East Fremantle. I'll get back into this game.
Back again to umpire Woods. There's the bounce down. McVie goes high, gets the ball out the side. After it goes Cormac of East Fremantle onto his boot. It's a high kick to the half-forward line. Devitt underneath it. Watson coming over the top of him. The whistle sounds as umpire Woods races over to award the kick to Devitt. He's going to bounce it. Almost on the half-forward line for East Fremantle. There's the bounce down. This favours Emery. Down towards Thornley. Thornley can't get into the clear. With him there is Cooper. Cooper trying to come out with the ball. Plenty of pushing and shoving going on over there. Devitt trying to gather it too. Over it goes to Bosic. Bosic gets it onto the boot. But the whistle has sounded in the meantime. And Fred Woods looks as if this time he will award the kick to Devitt on the half-back line to Swan Districts. Yes, Graham Devitt to take the kick. Up to the wing position it goes. Players racing after the ball. Over towards Martinson. East Fremantle get it onto the boot. Right up into the full forward pocket. The race on up there. Lawson coming out of the goals. Well in advance of Johnson. Gets the hand pass over. Looking for Devitt. Devitt runs into big trouble. He gets another hand pass to it too. Too high though, says the umpire. And Devitt to take the kick again on the half-back line for Swan Districts. East Fremantle surging down that right centre wing around their right half forward flank, but Devitt keeping them back and coming in to take another kick. Back it goes towards the centre of the ground, knocked away by East Fremantle. Down to the ground. This favours Downey coming through. After it goes Martinson too, off the ground by Swans, up into the wing position. Big pack on top of it up there too. No one can do much with it. The whistle sounds again from umpire Freddie Woods. Let's see, it's a kick to East Fremantle this time. Looks like Les House, the half-back flanker, taking it well down from his position on the right centre wing. There's a good long drop kick from House right up to full forward. Johnson coming well out from his goals, takes the ball on his chest with 5 minutes of play gone here in the third quarter of the 65 grand final.
Well, here's Bob Johnson. You can see the expression on his face as he goes back to kick this ball. About 45 yards out, directly in front of the East Fremantle goal. There's the kick right up to the white square, and that's another goal to Bob Johnson to bring East Fremantle closer to the Swan District score.
Well, once again, East Fremantle come back into the game with another goal for Bob Johnson's second goal of the game. Graham, well, what's the thoughts here?
I thought it was lack of concentration on the Swan District's part. They may be a little too confident at the present moment because they're taking it pretty easy, and if they want to win this pretty important match, they'll have to concentrate a little harder than they're doing at the present moment.
Here's a bounce down once again, the two 22s, Littrick and Emery. Picked up by Cormac, up towards centre half forward. Peter Downey, number 17, over to Maynard. There's a good drop kick from Maynard, right up to the centre of the ground. Norm Rogers battling in there, trying to bring the ball away. Still in the centre of the ground, out towards the far wing. Rogers, number 11, Thornley, number 1. Les House, number 7. And House going down the far wing, unattended. There's the kick towards the right half forward line. Joe Lawson well out from his goals here, coming through on the half back line. Over to McMurray, back towards the far flank, and a good mark out there to Darryl Cormac. East Fremantle not to be denied, using this breeze. And Michael Regan marks the ball between centre half and centre full forward and takes a knock for his trouble as he marks the ball. And up he is, up again, and Michael Regan to take his kick about 40 yards out from goal. 11-3 to 7-10. Michael Regan coming in to take his kick. There it goes, it's got the distance, it's got the accuracy, and another goal to East Fremantle.
Well, Graham, as you said, East Fremantle coming back into the game now. Swan's a little complacent at this stage. East Fremantle using the breeze, long kicks and the right side of the ground, which they didn't use in the first quarter.
They're playing the game that we hoped they'd play in the first quarter, concentrating on the ball, kicking the ball long and playing it on quickly and accurate shooting for goals.
I noticed that Swans are switching their wingman over again, that Cooper coming over onto Biffin.
Well, that goal has brought the crowd to life, and there's a bounce down in the centre once again. Littrick, knocked away by Biffin. Picked off the ground by Bentley towards the forward line. Laurie Watson, through comes Joe Lawson, over to Ken Bagley. He's at half back. The pressure's on now in this third quarter. Ken Bagley. Bagley's kick up towards the centre of the ground. Tony Nesbitt. But through comes Barry Biffin. A beautiful pass finds Tony Casserly at centre half forward. Well, East Fremantle starting to play there. There's the short pass on to Bert Thornley. He's in kicking distance. There goes the drop kick. But it's offline and through for a point to the East Fremantle side.
A little steadiness by Biffin then by Thornley could have made a big difference. He seemed hurried, although he had plenty of time. Not good teamwork on the East Fremantle players in talking to one another.
11-3 to 8-11. Joe Lawson kicking into play. There's a kick from Lawson towards the half-back line. Big Imrie using his height. Harry Neesham over to Bentley. Oh, the hand pass to Michael Regan went astray. To the half-back line of the Swans. Billy Walker, 29. And Walker's kick goes towards the centre of the ground, towards Rakic. Through comes Les House. Hand passing going astray in the centre of the ground, picked up by Copeman. Over to Ken Cooper. And Swans go forward towards the half-forward line. And a good fighting mark to Robin McVeigh.
Not good football by East Fremantle there, Bob. Overindulging too much in the handball when a kick would have paid dividends.
There's Robin McVeigh's kick towards the full forward line. And Tom Stanage it is. Here's Tom Stanage, the ever reliable half-forward flank of the Swans, about 30 yards out from goal.
Swans started to realise that the pressure's on again. They're back into the game, right back into it again.
Let's watch Tom Stanage as he takes this kick. And it's hit the post. And another point to the black and whites. 3 or 4 posters during the game. And plenty of fight in this third quarter here of the grand final. Trevor Sprigg. Out towards half-back and marked there by Harry Bentley. 10 minutes into the third quarter.
There's Bentley putting the ball down to the centre of the ground. Coulson flying high, knocked away by Rakic. Neesham going after it. Nesbitt comes over the ball there for Swans. Across the ground it goes. Cooper going after it, brings down the mark for Swan Districts right next to the centre circle. Cooper just switched to the grandstand wing from the far side of the ground, taking the kick now for Swans. Up to their half-forward position it goes. Copeland and Rogers battling the position. Coming through again is Stanage, throwing himself after the ball. Brings down another fine mark. Stanage playing on quickly, pops the ball up to Nesbitt. Nesbitt playing on 2. There goes his kick right up to full forward. Gorman coming across. I think he may have brought it down to the big pull forward for Swans, Eric Gorman. Only a few yards out from the Swan Districts goal. A rather acute angle as he's sent back now by umpire Freddie Woods. Let's see what he can do with this one.
I think Stanage would be the best player on the ground at this stage. Jack, what is your opinion?
Playing very well, Paul. Half-forward flank.
There's the kick from Gorman, no mistake about it whatsoever, and that brings up another goal to Swan Districts to take their score to 12 goals for.
East Fremantle seem to not be able to close the game up when it goes into their forward line. They don't play as tight as Swan Districts do, and consequently Stanage got that ball onto Nesbitt. Nesbitt's shot was well marked by Gorman in the square.
Jack, Gorman's goals have all been kicked against the breezes, 4 goals.
Bob, I also noticed that Holt has gone to a back pocket for East Fremantle, and young Stevenson has come out onto the half-back flank to try and curb Tom Stanage.
Here's the bounce down again now from umpire Woods. Coulson gets the knock. Some interference on the ruck too, and the free kick will go the way of Swan Districts. Vlada Rakic, the big Swan Districts ruckman, it is to take it. Swan straight up the centre of the ground with the kick. Flying high up there. There's Tom Stanage again. Everything coming down right for Tom Stanage. There goes the kick right up to full forward. There's There's the big ruckman Imrie pulling it down from the back pocket for the Swans. Playing on quickly to the far side of the ground for Old East. He gets the ball up to the right centre wing. Tony Casserly in the front position will be awarded the mark, taking it in front of Graham Devitt. Casserly backward to the right centre wing position for East Fremantle. Drop kick up now towards their half-forward flank position, but the mark is taken by Manning. Manning looking for Devitt up on the left centre wing, finds that player too unattended. Up it goes to Swans, half-forward flank position. There's Les House taking a fighting mark on the half-back line for East Fremantle. Holding up that Swan Districts thrust, puts the ball into the centre of the ground where he finds his Raver Bentley. Bentley has a bounce going on quickly. Up to the centre half-forward position goes the kick. Coming through is Bozich. He's in trouble. Picked up by Downey. He's caught two. The hand pass into the centre taken by Bagley. Over it goes quickly now to Sidebottom. Sidebottom up to the half-forward line. Here's Stanich again with Stevenson. The race on after the ball, socket off the ground by Ken Holt, racing towards the grandstand. Ken Cooper in the front position, Biffin going after it too. Ken Holt coming out with it for East Fremantle. Tries to kick it over his head and takes it over the line and out of bounds for a throw on the left half-back flank position for East Fremantle. 12-4 Swan Districts, East Fremantle, 8 goals 11. There goes the throw. Out the back of the pack. Sidebottom it was, trying to burst his way through. Sent to the ground and has been awarded the kick by umpire Woods. Sidebottom should put this one right up into the teeth of goal for Swan Districts once again. The player coming across looks like Copeman it is, ducking in front of the pack to take the mark for Swans. About 35 yards out, there goes the kick from Copeland. This is well away to the right. 1 point only to Swan Districts.
Well, something needed from East Fremantle here, Graham. They've got to go for that long kick and get the ball. Their indecision in the back line's costing them plenty.
Here's a drop in the wind, Jack. I don't know what's
There's this lad again taking a brilliant mark, Stanich.
Stanich again from the kick in, putting Swan Districts back into attack once more. Right up to full forward goes the kick, knocked away by East Fremantle, picked up by Walker, hand pass over to Littrick. Littrick onto the boot, and it's 4 points again to Swans. Swans leading away now, 13 goals 5, 13-5 Swan Districts.
Jack, a matter of finding an East Fremantle backman that's going to stop Stanage at this stage.
Well, Stanage is going great guns, but the whole side is cooperating up in the forward line. They're all going for the ball, running on. They're ever alert. Any crumbs that come about, well, Swan Districts are going to get them.
a well-disciplined side, Jack. They know what they're going to do. They'll back up. They'll show courage and anticipation, and it's coming off very well. It's a team effort.
Bounce in the centre from umpire Woods. Up go the ruckman, taken by Cooper on the wing. Tries to get a hand pass in. He goes to the ground. Neesham is there with him. Coming through is Norm Rogers, trying to gather the ball for East Fremantle. There's a pack on top of it, and umpire Woods will have a bounce down almost in the centre of the ground. Up go the ruckman again. Coming through is McVie, gets it over to Walker. Walker heading for the goals. Up the full forward it goes, looking for Littrick, and finds the big ruckman resting in the pocket. Littrick bringing down a fine fingertip mark there for Swan Districts. Now going back for his kick. Once again, Swans moving away here into the breeze. There's no mistake about that one whatsoever. That's 14 goals 5. Swan Districts leading East Fremantle 8 goals 11.
Well, Brian, that's the fourth goal Littrick's kicked, and certainly playing well on the ball as well when resting in the forward pocket. A great decoy for Gorman.
Yes, Gorman let out, but Walker showed a little bit of sense by watching to see where the other fellow was, and he kicked the ball well and kicked it right to Littrick.
I notice there's a further switch in the East Fremantle half-back line where Stevenson's going over onto the opposite side of the ground to the resting ruckman, while House comes back to his original place onto Stanage.
There's the bounce down again in the centre of the ground. East Fremantle coming out with the ball. Cormac is after it. Regathers it again, runs straight into trouble. Rogers trying to come through now for East Fremantle. Plenty of pushing and shoving. Too high, says umpire Woods. Rogers playing on very quickly. Gets a long kick down to the centre half-forward position. Downey and Lewis battling for position there. No one can take the mark. Through comes Thornley. Thornley on the half-forward line. A long kick up to full forward. Away in the pocket though, and out of bounds once again in that right full forward pocket.
Once again, over anxiousness, Thornley had plenty of time to steady Jack and kick that ball. Could have quite easily been a goal, but kicked before he'd steady.
From the throw-in, free kick has been awarded down there from umpire Freddie Woods.
That's a kick I think he gave for shaking him too hard, Brian.
Here's the Rover Bentley to take the kick. Deep in the right full forward pocket. Drop punt from Bentley. Once again going across the goals into that left point post, and 1 point only the result to East Fremantle. Joe Lawson very quickly coming up with the ball to bring it into play out towards the members stand flank. Players setting themselves out there, knocked away by Biffin, and it's over the line for a throw on the left half forward flank position for East Fremantle. McVie on the ball with Coulson. Cassidy there too. Coulson trying to bring it down. Watson going after it for East Fremantle. He's in the clear. Up to full forward it goes. Here's Johnson and Lawson battling. Lawson in the front position. Taken by Downey. Over it goes to McMurray. McMurray right in the pocket. Gets it up to the half back line. Neesham and Bagley. Bagley getting into the front position. Takes the mark for Swans. Going on quickly. Up over the centre line it goes. Over the head of East Fremantle. Stanage is after the ball for Swans. Goes to the ground. Picked up now by Norm Rogers. He's pulled pretty high.
It's a bad one holding the ball then, rather sudden.
And also I thought he grabbed him fairly high on the shoulder too. Bad luck for Norm.
Well, we're 20 minutes now into the third quarter as Swans take their kick on the half forward line. Looks like being taken by Tom Stanage once again. Had numerous kicks in this quarter. It's a half forward flanker. Good drop kick up towards full forward. Big Emery putting that 6'5" in the air, brings down a safe mark at left full back. 20 minutes gone into the third quarter. East Fremantle kicking with the breeze and still goals behind the Swan side. There's the kick towards the centre of the ground. Marked by Ken Bagley on that right wing. It's Bagley kicking towards centre half forward. Still in the centre half forward. Swans taking it forward through Billy Walker. Off the side of the boot and out of bounds at right full forward. Great opportunist, walk around the packs, ever alert to pick up the knocks, whether it's from his own ruckman or those of the opposing side. There's a throw in. Frank Coulson opposed to Rackage. And Emery. Emery gets the tap. A free kick has been seen here by umpire Woods and will go the way of Frank Coulson.
The game's starting to die again. For a while there, the crowd sensed a close game, but suddenly Swan Districts are back on top again and they're quieting down again.
It's a couple of quick goals from Hull East to add fire to this game. Coulson taking the kick, a grubber. Cyril Littrick, 22 at right half forward. Picked up by East Fremantle coming through towards the centre of the wing. Michael Regan. Jeff McMurray. McMurray's kick goes towards centre half forward. Dave Sidebottom. Out to Ken Cooper. And Swans go forward again. And there's Cyril Littrick, the ever reliable. 160 odd games to his credit and taking that mark between right half and right full forward, and a chance here to further Swans score. Here's the great ruckman for Swans taking the kick, but it's not a good one. It's into the white square. Big pack of players up there. East Fremantle trying to come away, and finally the ball goes out of bounds at right full forward for Swans. There you see a portion of the big crowd, a little bit quiet at the moment, as Graham Farmer said. 27 is McVie, 22 is Emery. Emery using that hot, picked up by Walker over the side bottom. Norm Rogers brings East Fremantle out towards a half back line. Missed by Stanage that time. One of the few marks he's missed all day. A push in the back against Swan Districts, and East Fremantle take the kick on the half back line. Barry Biffin it is. Biffin well up from his wing position. Here's Barry Biffin taking the kick. Down towards the member stand side of the ground. Once again into the arms of Ken Bagley. Behind the pack that time and right into Bagley's arms. There's another good kick against the breeze from Bagley. Right up towards the forward line, Mike Regan, number 13. And East Fremantle will get out of trouble again. Towards the right wing, here's Cyril Littrick, number 22, opposed by Neesham, number 1. Ken Bagley, back again to the forward line. And it looks like Dave Sidebottom, 15 yards to be awarded here.
Once again, Michael Regan, who hasn't aided East Fremantle very much at all today, hasn't been of much advantage to them at all, and giving away a silly free kick when they're kicking with the aid of a breeze.
A lot of the East Fremantle fellas have lost their concentration and consequently they're going for the man instead of the ball.
Here's Dave Sidebottom in the right full forward pocket for Swans, kicking in towards the goal square. It's a good kick, right into the teeth of the goals. A chance here for Swans. It throws his umpire Woods, and East Fremantle will get out of trouble once again.
Bagley proving a big stumbling block at the centre at the present time, Graham.
Yes, the toss-up between Bagley and Stanage, who's the best in the ground. Bagley's because of his probably better kicking.
There's Terry Stevenson taking that kick out towards a half-back line. Through comes Holt. Clears the ball towards the centre of the ground, and Harry Neesham takes the mark. East Fremantle certainly need goals at this stage. There's a good kick from Neesham, but right in the arms of Tony Nesbitt. Many kicks going astray. Back to Cyril Littrick. Over to Ken Cooper. Backing up by Swans all over the ground. The kick goes towards Stanage. Knocked away this time. There's East Fremantle coming through. House. Barry Biffin. Dropped by Biffin. Tackle by Ken Cooper on the centre wing. There's Sprigg well down from his goal then, but right in the arms of Jeff McMurray. 25 minutes gone in this quarter as the ball goes back towards the centre of the ground. A chance here for East Fremantle as Cormac picks it up. Up towards the full forward line. Here's Johnson and Lawson battling again. Over their heads. Through comes Bentley. Nearly in the square. Pushed off there. There's the ball. Nearly on the line. But through, says the goal umpire. Through before Johnson was kicking. Apparently he said it was through, Jack, but it certainly didn't look it from here. There's a kick in from Lawson, the short one to Maynard, and he takes the kick in the full-back pocket. Well, Swans going for the short pass again as McMurray takes the kick further afield on the half-back line. Swans slowing the game up now against this breeze with a very handy lead. Here's a kick, Bagley and Neesham. Michael Regan over the shoulder says, or in the face says umpire Woods, and Neesham will take the kick.
The game is starting to slip as a spectacle. East Fremantle are desperate. They're losing their concentration. 26 minutes gone as Regan runs towards the half-forward line and gives it to Fred Lewis. Lewis in the true centre half-forward position with the breeze behind him. Johnson beckons for the ball, and that's the way it goes. Over Johnson's head, picked up by Lawson. Through comes Casserly in the left half-forward line. Bossage number 2. Johnson 16. Devitt with the ball. Tony Casserly now trying to break his way through it, left full forward. It's still in the forward line, but Sidebottom brings the ball away. They have trouble towards the half-back line. Trevor Sprigg having a run on the ball now, down on the left half-forward line.
Coulson at full-back at the present time, and they're running Sprigg on the ball, Bob.
Well, Sprigg come on the ball to try and lift this East Fremantle side to try and get a couple of goals on the board. Here's Johnson, opposed to Rakic. Over to Thornley. A chance here, but off-line and out of bounds at left full forward. Well, many chances here for Old East, but they're fritting them away. 27 minutes gone in the third quarter.
I think they're playing as a beaten side now, Bob.
Looks a bit like it from here, Graham. Here's Johnson on the ball against Rakic. Casserly. Socket off the ground by Mike Regan, and there's a much-needed goal to the blue and white. Socket off the ground there by Mike Regan to give him his third goal.
Well, that's about the way East Fremantle are playing at the present time. They have to rely on soccering one off the ground to get the full score. They're not playing well, being held in most positions by Swan Districts, and unless unless Johnson can do something and strengthen their goal-to-goal line, well, East Fremantle are gone for my liking.
Yes, looks like they're gone for your thoughts and your money as well, Jack.
14-5 to 9-13 as the ball's bounced once again. Through comes Neesham. Strikes trouble there in Bagley. Over to Walker. Swan's handball going into action again. Peter Manning up towards the half-forward line. But umpire Woods has pulled the game up and will award a kick here in the centre of the ground to Peter Manning. 3 minutes into time on. Peter Manning, the Swan Districts winger, playing in his first grand final. There's a kick up towards centre half forward, over the head of Stanage. Through comes Rogers on the left half back flank. Over to Barry Biffin, number 9, but he can't do anything with it. And over the line and out of bounds at right half forward for the Swan side. Well, East Fremantle battling hard, but Swan Districts backing each other up all over the ground, seem to have too many guns for them. Another free kick there, goes away of Swans. And Billy Walker to take the kick.
Billy hasn't been in the game as much of other players, but everything he's done very well.
There's the kick from Walker, looking for Littrick and finding that player. No, play on, says the umpire. The kick goes down towards the centre of the ground, towards Harry Neesham, number 1, and Neesham takes the mark. 29 minutes gone, and there's Neesham's kick right in the arms of Graham Devlin. Much to the dismay of the supporters, but there's the evener up, goes right back to Darryl Cormack. There's Cormack's kick towards the half-forward line, but it's all Swans here as Jeff McMurray takes the mark. Well, East Fremantle seem to be a very ragged side at this stage of the game. And there's another kick to an opposition player, back to John Martinson. Well, kick to kick here in the third quarter. There's a better kick from Martinson, down towards full forward. Johnson and Lawson once again. Through comes Lawson, knocks the ball over towards McMurray. Here's McMurray in front of Thornley, at right half back. Tackled hard by Thornley. Thornley using his body here. You can almost see them right here in front of our cameras. Billy Walker. Over to Downey. Downey trying to burst his way through there on a half-back line. Thornley, number 18. Maynard, 21. Held to him, says umpire Woods. And the ball will be bounced on the half-back line as we're 30 minutes into the third quarter.
Bounce down coming up again from umpire Woods. Castley getting set for the bounce for East Fremantle. Rackage is there for Swan Districts. Up they go. Castley gets the tap down towards Thornley. Nesbitt going through. Sprigg after the ball. Runs into the boot of Nesbitt. A dangerous kick, says umpire Woods, and the free kick will go the way of Sprigg. Sprigg signalling that he's going to put this one down as far as he possibly can towards that goal square. That's the way the kick goes too. Players playing in the square behind the pack as Johnson can't get a boot to it there, and it's through for a point once again. 9-4.
Bob Johnson finding it very hard at full forward, Graham.
Yes, the ball's coming down and Bob isn't able to get into that position. Well, the ball isn't being kicked too well for him, and he's desperate all the time and looks very awkward at the pressure moment.
31 minutes of playing on in the third quarter of the grand final. The kick in again from Lawson. Castley goes high. Sprigg gathering the crumbs. The hand pass goes towards Billy Walker. Coming through too is Bagley. Bagley into the clear on the half-back line, up into the centre of the ground. Players go high, no one can take the mark, taken by Copeman. Over it goes to Manning. Manning loses control of the ball, back in after it they go. Players falling on top of it, hips, shoulders and boots, everything going in up there, and umpire Woods will have a bounce down midway between the centre and half-forward positions for Swan Districts.
Jack, do you think the two hard games that East Fremantle have had are going against them at this stage?
Not greatly, Bob. I think that they haven't played the ball. They've been going for the man, and they certainly haven't played with the same determination as they did last week.
On the bounce down, East Fremantle trying to come away out. It comes towards Neesham, gets around Bagley. Neesham with a good long drop kick up to full forward. Johnson setting himself, comes behind the pack here to Martinson after the ball. Martinson onto the left foot and promptly puts it out of bounds. Well shepherded too by teammates. 32 minutes of play now gone here in the third quarter.
Palm there from Bob Johnson.
I thought he should have gone for the mark, Bob. He had the opportunity of marking the ball, but elected to palm it out. But still hard to kick goals from pockets.
From the throw-in again. Coming through is Lawson, tackled by Regan, gets it over to Nesbitt. Nesbitt to Maynard. Maynard puts a boot into it out to the half-back line. It's all East Fremantle underneath the ball. A little indecision. After it now goes Biffin. He's hotly pressed, bounces the ball while being held by Bagley. The kick taken by Bagley, going on quickly. A long hand pass looking for Stanage, finds that player. There's the boot of Stanage up to the full forward pocket, and the mark to East Fremantle up there. Side bottom, I think, as the siren sounds to bring to a close the third quarter of this.
He'll take his kick, I think,
Side
Brian.
bottom looks like he will take his kick. Out on the right half forward flank position. We'll watch this one. Side bottom number 30 coming in to take this kick as the players come over to take a well-earned three-quarters rest. There's the kick from side bottom. taken by an East Fremantle player in front of the goals. The scoreboard remains as is at three-quarter time. Swan Districts 14 goals 5, 89, leading East Fremantle 9 goals 14, 68. 14-6 Swan Districts, 11-14 East Fremantle, 10 points the difference, and 5 minutes of play gone in the final quarter of the grand final.
There's a bounce down. Rakic gets a knock. Down towards the half-forward line, picked up by Rogers. Out towards the far wing. Barry Biffin. Here's a lead further afield towards Michael Regan at half-forward, and he accepts the mark. There's Regan's kick in towards goals. East Fremantle in attack. Johnson up there with Lawson. Deep in the left full-forward pocket. Smothered by...
Like a push to young Bentley, I think, Bob, or Martinson, whichever one, Martinson, I think.
Kick has been awarded to East Fremantle in the left full-forward pocket. It looks like John Martinson.
Isn't it amazing just how quick the tide can change? We thought they'd lost their confidence, but they're in it, and they're playing like a team that have a chance, East Fremantle.
East Fremantle playing much better against the breeze than they did with it. Here's the kick. Right across the face of the goal in the right full-forward pocket this time. Devitt bringing Swans away towards the centre wing. Ken Bagley, number 1, knocks over to Peter Manning. Manning's kick goes down towards the half-forward line and out of bounds in front of the member stand.
Bob, this is one place I think East Fremantle have got to get it out of. If they allow Swans to mark time down here, well, they're going to be in trouble. They've got to get it back up that wing, back into their forward line.
10 points of difference. Umpire Lewis throws the ball in. Castley gets the tap. Over to Darryl Cormack. Running towards half-forward. There goes the kick. Up towards the full-forward pocket. And knocked out of bounds in that position. Well, East Fremantle certainly not to be denied, kicking against a fairly strong breeze, throwing everything they've got into this last quarter.
East Fremantle are noted for their fighting spirit, and they're certainly displaying it today.
There you see all the bunting waving there in front of the grandstand as the throw-in comes again. A kick against Tony Castley this time goes the way of Swan Districts and Vlada Rakic. Rakic kick towards the centre wing. No player can take it, and over the line and out of bounds once again. Well, the big crowd here urging the respective sides on to win this 1965 premiership. Emery and McVie. Emery gets the tap this time. Over to Castley, to Ken Bagley. Back to Castley, and East Fremantle go forward again, up towards the half-forward line. And here's a chance as John Martinson comes out and takes the mark. And the half-forward line. Well out from goals, but he's a good kick, this boy, and he'll certainly drive it forward. Johnson up there in the goal square calling as Martinson takes his kick. There goes a kick right into the square, but offline and through for 1 point. 14-6, Swan Districts. 11-10 is at East Fremantle. And Joe Lawson to take the kick into play. There's Lawson's kick out towards centre half-back. And there's a fighting mark there to East Fremantle.
Well, East Fremantle are in everything at the present time. They're in front of their men, they're playing the ball, and they're looking better footballers than they have for 3 quarters.
Barry Biffin to take the kick. At centre half forward for East Fremantle. Going out to the flank towards Tony Castley. And East Fremantle going into their short game. There's Castley's kick towards full forward. And it's an East Fremantle mark. Awarded to Fred Lewis in front of the pack there. 10 points down, the centre half forward to take his kick. And the crowd certainly finding their voice. Here's Fred Lewis. Let's follow him in with this kick. Looks good from here. Yes, says the umpire, and full points to East Fremantle. Come right back into the game. Jack Sheedy.
Well, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in my life. Swan Districts unbeatable at 3/4 time. I think they had the game well and truly wrapped up. Now we see that there's 3 points to difference. Paul, what's going to happen from here?
East Fremantle are desperate, and people in the district can do anything. They're sensing victory, and if they can keep it up, it can be anyone's game at this stage.
Well, there's runners and trainers and everyone on the ground. They're making all sorts of moves.
Here's the bounce down again. The next 5 minutes certainly crucial here in this grand final. Up go the ruckman, taken by Darryl Cormack, trying to get through the pack. Up it goes, picked up by Devitt. His kick is smothered. East Fremantle get it over again. Later Cormack puts the ball right up the full forward again for Old East. Up they go up there. Picked up by Michael Regan. Over to Martinson, running into an open goal. And there it is. East Fremantle have come back and hit the front.
Well, this place has gone mad. This is the most fantastic sight you've ever seen. There's blue and white bunting going everywhere. East Fremantle players, they've got hearts as big as lions at the present time. They're really going to town.
I think the picture here tells the story
roar of the
better than
crowd, it
1,000
reminds
words.
us of the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Jack, it's terrific. It's what we came to see, a grand finalist places, and this has been terrific.
Swan Districts runner out on the ground trying to make changes, or about to make them, I think, but well, let's see what's going to happen.
Game underway again. Up go the ruckman in the centre of the ground. There's a huge pack on top of the ball, and umpire Woods has awarded the kick to East Fremantle to be taken by Bentley. Bentley putting Old East into attack again. Up to their half-forward line it goes. No one can take the mark. Castley trying to burst his way through on the half-forward line for East Fremantle. Devitt is right there with him too as they take it to the boundary line, over the line and out of bounds, almost in front of the public stand. 13-15 East Fremantle. Swan Districts 14-6, 3 points in favour of Old East. And there's the throw in. Littrick gets the tap down. Here's Bentley after the ball for East Fremantle, popping it up in front of the goals once again. Players flying up there. Johnson almost brings it down. Picked up by Martinson onto the boot.
No, it's been awarded to Swan Districts, Brian Mark. Joe Lawson.
Just goes to show, Jack, you don't have to be the best team in the world, but if you keep trying and keep plugging away, you can get back into the game, and it could still be their game.
I'm interested to see what these moves they're trying to formulate. The Swan Districts runner's been out there trying to change some players around.
Here's the kick in from Lawson now into the centre-half back position. Bagley coming through strongly for Swan Districts. A good kick down to their half-forward line. Knocked away by Ken Holt. The race on out here. Rakic will be the first to arrive at the ball. Hips and shoulders going in as Rakic tries to come out. Players falling on top of it, and again we'll see a bounce down from umpire Woods, a yard inside the boundary line here, almost on the half-forward line for Swan Districts. It's 3 points the difference in the 1965 grand final. Here's the bounce down. Rakic gets the tap, taken by Stevenson of East Fremantle onto the boot up towards Devitt, Manning, and Manning takes the mark there in front of Darryl Cormack.
What happened to that cold champagne that Swans are getting ready, Jack?
Well, I think they've taken it off the ice again, Bob. I can't imagine what they'd be doing from here. I'm trying to see where the Swans players are going. They seem to be well out of position at present.
Manning's kicked down the full forward. The wrestle on down here between Rogers and Nesbitt. The kick is going to Nesbitt. Jack Sheedy.
Yeah, don't seem to like that one, although I don't think Rogers went for the ball. Nesbitt did have his eyes on the ball and was trying to go for it, but he was definitely around Rogers' neck.
There's the kick from Nesbitt over in front of the face of the goals. A huge pack going after it. It's behind them. Picked up by East Fremantle. Les House trying to come away. Dropping the ball, says they're bouncing the ball while being held, says the umpire Freddie Woods, and Swan Districts with a golden opportunity now to bring up the goal that will bring them back into the lead once again.
What a vital kick this is going to be. 3 points behind and Swans to take the kick for goal.
Here's the kick. Stanage it is to take it. 4 points. Swan Districts come back to take the lead again by a margin of only 3 points.
Well, that was a very bad mistake of young House there. He thought he was in the clear, but I think Devitt, the Swan Districts player there, had hold of his Guernsey. Woods spotted him, and he was awarded the kick for holding the ball.
Fairly borderline case, and at this stage it looks like the umpire's going to have a fair part in who's going to win this match.
Jack, that was Jeff McMurray that kicked that. He's come down.
McMurray has come down. There's a lot of changes, Bob.
Here's the bounce down again in the centre of the ground. Littrick goes high to get a touch to it. Players trying to force it out of the scrum in the centre, and again umpire Woods blows the whistle. The kick going to East Fremantle. Martinson the Raver it is to take it.
They've shifted Bagley to centre half back, which I don't think is a very good move at this stage of the game.
And there's Ken Holt coming off the ground in front of the member stand as East Fremantle going to attack, but through comes Peter Downey with a long clearing kick towards the half-forward line. Picked up by Harry Neesham, and East Fremantle go forward again into the centre of the ground. It'll be marked there by Trevor Sprigg, playing on the ball now for East Fremantle. There's the kick out towards the half-forward line, very wide, but finds Barry Biffin. East Fremantle 3 points down and attacking from the half-forward line. Players getting tired on both sides, as many knocks during the day, and there's the kick from Biffin towards full forward. Marked by Johnson
I
there.
think Bob marked it in his waistcoat pocket.
Attended by a couple of Swans players. and fell into Bob Johnson's arms. He's about 30 yards out between left half and left full forward, and a great chance here to put East Fremantle back in front.
This is a chance to help Bob win his first grand final here in Perth. It's up to him.
And here's Johnson's kick. Yes, it's through, and East Fremantle takes the lead again. Well, lead seesawing here in the grand final in the last quarter. Listen to that crowd go wild.
Well, Johnson hasn't been very accurate on all day. That's his third goal. He missed several sitters early in the game, but that one against the breeze has certainly lifted the game. I see Bert Thornley coming off the ground for East Fremantle.
And here's the bounce down with East Fremantle 3 points in front. Emery gets the knock. Out to the far wing. All players fighting hard now to win this premiership. Downey coming through for Swans. It's on the far side of the ground. Terrific play in this last quarter here. But umpire Woods has pulled the game up, and the kick will go the way of Dave Sidebottom. Some tired players out there on both sides after a grueling game, and Dave Sidebottom to take his kick. Not a good kick towards a half-forward line. A mistake there by two East Fremantle players. Through comes Terry Stevenson. He's at half-back. Billy Walker in front. It's on the half-back line. Hotly attended there by Harry Neesham. Walker still going on with the ball. Players right, left and centre trying to break their way through, and finally umpire Woods will bounce the ball on the half-back line for East Fremantle. Number 20 is Rackage on the ball there, opposed to Dave Emery, Robin McBee. Off the kick comes off the ground. Don Lang on the ground now for East Fremantle. Terry Stevenson at half-back, over to John Martinson, and East Fremantle go forward. Missed by Devitt. Through comes Bagley. All players very tense now, but Ken Bagley bursting his way through. Over to Dave Sidebottom. His kick goes towards full forward. Littrick can't take the mark, but the kick has been awarded to Frank Coulson over the back. Well, Coulson has been awarded that kick over the back in the right full-back pocket to relieve the pressure for all lengths.
It's some diggy free kicks here at the moment, Bob. I wouldn't fancy being the umpire at this stage of the game.
Well, I think the whole ground, the whole players, everyone's tense in this battle for the last premiership in the last quarter of an hour. There's Coulson's kick up towards the half-back line. All Swans players, let's East Fremantle take the ball away through Dedwin. Both reserves are on the ground. There's a kick up to Fred Lewis at centre half forward. And Lewis taking his kick. What a finish here to the grand final. There's the kick up towards full forward. 17 is Bentley. He's deep in the full forward pocket. Over towards centre half forward. Between centre half forward and full forward. And taken there by Laurie Watson. 35 to 40 yards out. And a great opportunity to put East Fremantle further in front. Let's watch Laurie Watson. East to 3 points in front. And here's the half-forward flanker to take his kick. You can hear a simmer of excitement right around the ground as Watson comes in, but he's offline, off the target, and through for 1 point.
This is the type of football, Jack, that brings on heart attacks.
Heart attacks? Well, I don't know how they could have got back into the game, honestly, I don't. I think Swans have made a bit of a tactical error in placing Bagley at centre half back. I'd have left him in the centre because it's no good defending at this stage of the game. They want attack, and they want to go from the centre right through the middle.
Yes, the whole court, East Fremantle's doing all the attacking. They've got a strong wind against them, but their desperation and courage is getting them there.
There's Joe Lawson's kick towards the half-back line. Players going in hard now to get this ball. On the half-back line. Socket off the ground towards the right wing. Ken Bagley trying to come through. But East Fremantle are not giving in, playing tigerously now, and umpire Fred Woods will bounce the ball. Well, the game's certainly come to life in this last quarter. Perhaps we can see Fred Castledine sitting on the bench after to see what he can do to rally Swans. 20 minutes gone in the final quarter here at Subiaco Oval.
Here's the bounce down on the half-back line for Swan Districts. Up the ruckman go again. Michael Regan going after the ball. Here's Tom Stanage pushing it along in front of him. Gets the hand pass over. Cooper it is, driving it up to the half-forward line. Players fly, and a beautiful mark to Eric Gorman. Eric Gorman coming out, took a magnificent mark for Swan Districts. He's out at centre half-forward. Swans are down by 4 points as Gorman, the full forward, comes in to take this kick. A Swan Districts player leading the ground could be Nesbitt, I think. Up they fly in the goal square. Cyril Littrick comes down with the ball between his hands. right on the edge of the square. Coulson is claiming he had a hand in it too, but umpire Woods awarding the kick to Cyril Littrick.
Fair enough, Mark, Jack.
Looked like it to me. I thought he was the only one with his hands on the ball. I do notice also that Tony Nesbitt's just come off the ground for Swan District.
Here's the kick from Cyril Littrick. Right through the middle, and now Swans come back again to take over the lead.
5 goals to Cyril Littrick.
Vittlich just coming on the ground for Swan Districts in place of their acting captain.
What would you do, Jack? Would you throw anyone here if you were Swans in front?
I'd bring Bagley back, certainly back to the centre again. Bob, I wouldn't leave him up there at centre-half back, but the runners, everyone's on the ground. Runners, Johnson issuing instructions as umpire Woods bounces it again.
2 points the difference in favour of Swans. Swans get the knock. Here's Neesham trying to come through from the centre. Neesham up to the half-forward line for East Fremantle. Johnson almost takes the mark. There's Bentley with the ball at half-forward, trying to get into the clear, holding the ball, says the umpire, and the kick to go the way of Swan Districts in the centre-half-back position.
Well, I think each player's trying to win it on their own at the moment. They're fighting desperately to get the ball towards their goals, and consequently many free kicks are being given.
16-6 Swan Districts, East Fremantle 14-16, 102 points to 100, and here's the kick from the centre-half-back position. Out to the grandstand wing it goes. Here's Cormac setting himself for East, can't take the mark. East Fremantle players converging on the ball. Cormac racing after it, side bottom going in too. There's Lang taking the kick, just come on the ground for East Fremantle, kicks it into the centre. Cooper soccering the ball off the ground, over it goes to side bottom of Swans. Up to the half-forward line for Swan Districts, the race on here towards the pocket. Knocked away though by Les House going after the ball. McVie is after him, House gets the kick in. Up to the half-back flank. Knocked over the line there by Darryl Cormac and out of bounds. Out of bounds, almost on the left centre wing. For Swan Districts, the throw-in coming once again. Rakic gets it down nicely to Walker. Walker with a long hand pass into the centre of the ground. Swan Districts into attack again, taken by Norm Rogers. He repels it up over the centre line. Downey is after the ball, with him too is Bagley. One taken beautifully there by Fred Lewis. Lewis with a hand pass over to Michael Regan at half forward. Regan putting it right up towards the full forward line. Here's Watson waiting in the pocket, and he's taken the mark again. Laurie Watson again marking the ball for East Fremantle.
I'll build him a monument if he kicks this, Brian.
East Fremantle 2 down. As Watson
he's a
comes
good
in
kick
for the
pole
kick.
too.
There's the kick from Watson. Crowd go mad again as East Fremantle come back to their 4-point lead.
3 goals to Laurie Watson.
Well, how are you going to beat East Fremantle after that? They've taken it back up there and kicked a goal against the breeze, through the eye of the needle, and they're still going on with the game. This is fantastic football.
You hear the roar of the crowd telling its own story here at Subiaco Oval. Back it comes to the centre once again.
Well, many of these East Fremantle players had more kicks in this quarter than they've had all day.
Bounce down again in the centre. Rakic gets the tap down. Out it comes towards Stevenson of East Fremantle. Neesham trying to burst his way there too. Cassidy takes it, gets the hand pass to it. Out it goes towards Downey on the half-back line for Swans. Downey out towards the right centre wing. Emery is after the ball, the big ruckman for East Fremantle. He takes it to the left centre wing for Old East. Has a bounce. Emery's kick up to the full forward line for Old East. There's Lewis chasing the ball towards the boundary line. With him is Bagley.
East Fremantle get a kick for holding the man, Brian.
Lewis it is to take the kick all right out on the left half forward flank position. East Fremantle 4 points up, 106 points to 102. Johnson breaking from the goals. There's the pass.
Goes to Maynard, Brian.
Kick going to Colin Maynard in the back pocket with 25 minutes of play now gone here in the 65 grand final.
Well, we're into time on, and 4 points in favour of the East Fremantle side. There's Maynard's kick towards the centre line. It's Swan's turn to look tired now as Rogers comes through with the ball. Kick the ball towards centre half forward for East Fremantle. Many mistakes being made by both sides as they throw themselves into it, and umpire Woods will bounce the ball at centre half forward for East Fremantle. Runners going out all over the ground, urging the players on. Lift their tired legs in this last 5 minutes. Rackage in there for Swans. Over to Billy Walker. Oh, a hand pass there, put his mate in trouble. And he's holding the ball, says umpire Fred Woods. Bad luck there for Billy Walker. And Harry Bentley it is will take the kick. Well, Harry Bentley, the East Fremantle rover, at centre half forward. There's his kick, sends it right into the forward line towards Johnson and company there. Nelly in the white square. Chuck it off the ground, another poster, and gives East Fremantle a 5-point lead. 1 minute into time on, 5 points in favour of the blue and whites. There's Joe Lawson's kick, well out towards the half-back line. Peter Manning and Cormac. It's all East Fremantle. Harry Bentley breaks away again, kicks the ball towards full forward, and here's Watson again.
Well, 15 yards here will put Watson almost on the edge of the square, or say 20 yards out, and he's already just kicked the goal.
Well, let's watch this kick closely. This could be the kick that seals the 1965 premiership. Let's watch Laurie Watson while he takes his kick about 30 yards out. What a vital moment for East Fremantle and Laurie Watson. Here he goes. It's good from here. Yes, says the umpire, and full points to the East Fremantle side.
Well, every East Fremantle player, those extra games now, Bob, I think have stood East Fremantle in good stead. They're running on now when some of the Swans players are starting to tire. I see Wilson Onions running out in the ground now, issuing instructions to, I would think, open the game up a bit again now.
Jack, the game's not over yet, but by Joe's East Fremantle, they've got position, they've been in the four, they won more premierships than any other team in Australia, and they're playing the football that deserves them of this tremendous merit.
11 points in favour of East Fremantle. Here's a throw down over to Casserly. Barry Biffin up towards the half-forward line, and East Fremantle players running loose there. Mike Regan. A short pass towards John Martinson. Martinson's kicking towards full forward. In the white square. Johnson gets the ball, puts it under his foot, and that looks like it seals the fate of Swan Districts and could win the 65 grand final for East Fremantle.
Well, Johnson there stopped down, took the crumbs with Watson flying. With the other East Fremantle player and the Swan Districts player, Johnson stood down, took the crumbs and put it right through the middle. I would say if East Fremantle win this, which I think they can't lose now, when I said they had no chance at three-quarter time, this will be their greatest ever premiership.
A fantastic comeback. 28 minutes gone into the final quarter.
Yes, it's a beauty, Jack, and they really deserve it. They showed tremendous courage. They played against a better team and beat them.
Swans are still trying to come back, but Emery gets a big knock now towards half-forward line. Barry Biffin, East Fremantle running on. Ken Bagley. It's on the half-forward line. Neil Dedman, the 19th man, coming on the ground. Here's John Martinson running loose again, number 3. Deep in the full-forward pocket. Swings in towards the full-forward line. It's Nelly in the white square for East Fremantle. The goal umpire signals out of bounds in the left full-forward pocket. 17 points in favour of East Fremantle. 3 minutes into the time-on period. And there's another kick.
Another kick to East Fremantle for holding the man, I think it is, Bob.
Going the way of East Fremantle in the left full-forward pocket. Tony Casserly it is.
The final siren brings the true result, Bob. At three-quarter time, half-time and quarter time, it was all Swan Districts, but it looks like East Fremantle now.
Yes, they've certainly come back, and as Jack said, it's hard to see how they did, but they've certainly did it, and what a wonderful side they are to do it. Here's Tony Casserly to take his kick. Yes, there it is, the nail in the coffin, and Tony Casserly, another goal to the famous blue and whites.
I don't know what to say, honestly. I don't know how they've got back into it. It's been a fantastic performance by each and every one of their players. To be able to run on from the position they were in, which was hopeless, to get back and get into the game against a 4 or 5 goal breeze, well, that's a tremendous effort.
18-17 East Fremantle, 16-6 Swans, and we're 30 minutes into the last quarter.
The bounce down in the centre once again. East Fremantle back into attack once more. This is intercepted by Devitt, though, bringing it away from the half-back line up to the Swans half-forward line. Rogers almost taking the mark. Regathers the crumbs, though. Out it goes to the wing position once again. Here's Manning and Cormac fighting for the ball. Picked up beautifully by Bentley. Bentley onto the boot. Back to the East Fremantle half-forward line. Coming through is Neesham. He runs straight into Bagley. Bagley with the ball. Back to the wing. Cormac and Rackage after it. Taken here by Stevenson. Bursting his way through. Puts the boot into a 2, and it's over the line and out of bounds. on the right centre wing for East Fremantle.
Well, East Fremantle certainly got the run of the ball now. Swans had it for 3/4, but East Fremantle gaining confidence with every second.
Throw in coming all around the ground. There's excitement everywhere here at Subiaco. Here comes the throw in once again. Cassidy and Littrick going after it. Littrick brings the ball away himself, puts the boot into it. Back to the Swans half forward line. Knocked away by Rogers. Down to the ground. Stanage going after the ball. Neesham coming out with it though. Gets out of trouble beautifully. Gets it over there to Lang. Lang putting it up to the half forward line again for East Fremantle. Knocked away by Swans. Biddlich after it. Picked up there by Downey, bouncing the ball right up into the centre of the ground. There's the hand pass going over to Cooper. Back again to Downey. Downey runs straight into a solid bump from Emery though. Bursting his way through now is Lang trying to come out with the ball. Held without it, says the umpire, and Lang bursting away again, but will be brought back by the umpire, Freddie Woods, to take his kick backward of the centre. House, I should say. House it is, putting the ball out to the left centre wing. Mark has been accepted out there by Trevor Sprigg. East Fremantle quite content to slow the game down. 18-17, 125 East Fremantle. There's another pass taken by East Fremantle at left half forward. Back they go to attack once again, right up into the full forward zone. Johnson flies high, knocked away by Bosic, picked up again by Deadman. Swans defenders trying to bring it away. Lawson goes after it off the ground again by East Fremantle, right up close to the goals. Laurie Watson racing after the ball, keeps it in play. Michael Regan picks it up close to the boundary line, snaps it out of the boot, and it's one flag, another point. 32 minutes of play gone here in the grand final, another point to East Fremantle. They've certainly got this 1965 grand final in their pocket at this moment. There's the kick in from Lawson. McBee flying in the front position, knocked away by Cassidy from behind. Swan Districts coming out with the ball, putting it right down to the centre half forward position. Lang coming across, takes the mark for East Fremantle. 18-18 Old East, Swan Districts 16, goals 6. Lang bouncing the ball away towards the half-back flank. Puts it out towards the far side of the ground once again and out of bounds, and we'll see a throw-in coming on the right centre wing for Swan Districts, the left centre wing for East Fremantle, and what a magnificent last quarter it's been.
A long last quarter too, Brian. 33 minutes gone, and East Fremantle certainly found a lease of life from somewhere in this last quarter of an hour.
East Fremantle only seconds away from their pennant. The siren must go any second now. Play very close to the boundary line. Bentley coming out with the ball. Back towards the half-forward line. Ken Bagley diving after the ball. Takes a fine mark for Swan Districts. Bagley down to the half-forward line again for Swans. They're not giving in an inch either. Knocked on again by Rakic. Here's Lang after the ball towards the boundary line. Lang gets the boot into it. Up it goes towards Cormac, and Manning racing for it towards the wing, and it's out of bounds once again for another throw. 33.5 minutes of play gone here in the final quarter of the 65 grand final. The throw in coming, taken by Emery, gets the ball down to the advantage of Cormac. Cormac putting Old East into attack, up to the half forward line it goes. Deadman goes high, almost pulls down the mark. Players on top of it at right half forward for East Fremantle, and again Freddie Woods running over to bounce the ball down again. 34 minutes of play gone here in the final quarter. Very little time to go as umpire Woods bounced the ball in front of the public stand. Swans trying to get it out of the danger zone. The whistle sounds, and it's Swan Districts to take a kick up there on the half-back line. Billy Walker it is. There goes the siren, and right now, you people at home watching television will see the scene as the siren is sounded to end the 65 grand final, and 1965 premiers are East Fremantle.